Good morning. We are here in beautiful southern Utah today. Our motorhome is currently in storage, but we decided we wanted to replace our Sofabed couch with
theater seats.
Right. So we have a set of RecPro Theater Seats, and we're going to get those changed out. We're going to show you the tools that we'll be using, and we'll video the process so you can take a look at maybe doing it yourself.
That's right.
All right, stay tuned.
Okay, so let's back up just a bit and put this video in context. In February of 2019, after searching for a year and a half for just the right RV, we ordered a 2019 Tiffin Allegro Open Road 36LA motorhome. We picked it up a few months later from our incredibly patient salesman, Brett Moore, at General RV in Draper, Utah. While the motorhome is perfect for us and we loved it immediately, it only took one trip to realize the Sofabed couch is abysmal. It's hard and uncomfortable. And frankly for us, it was only good for decorating with pillows. Sorry, Tiffin. Fortunately, we read online about a number of Tiffin owners that had replaced their couches with RecPro Theater Seats. They gave the company and the products really good reviews, so we decided to give it a shot. Many Tiffin owners take their rigs to Red Bay, Alabama, to have this project done there. But at this point, Derek hadn't retired, and we are a very long way from Red Bay, Alabama. So that was out of the question. Plus, he's really handy and had the tools needed to do it ourselves. So we picked a weekend in November and drove to St. George, Utah, where the motorhome was being stored. The first thing we needed to do, well, the first thing we should have done, was take out the recliner. That is the first logical step. It wasn't even hooked in. But for some reason we didn't. Guess we were anxious to get that couch out of there.
The next step was to remove the existing couch. We knew it was designed for an RV, so it had to be able to fit through the door, but we were not sure how to take it apart. I looked online and found a lot of videos about removing a jackknife couch from an RV, but those methods did not fit our situation. Our couch opens up and has a queen airbed with the head at one arm and the feet by the other arm. We could not find a video on how to remove this type of couch, so we planned on a whole day for the project so we could have time to puzzle over how to take it apart. I was surprised that we used so few tools for this project, but the ones I did use were important. Safety glasses, which we forgot, Phillips screwdriver, and a wrench set. I ended up using both open-end wrenches and socket wrenches, but you could get by with just open-end wrenches. Also note, this isn't a project to attempt alone. Be sure you have a partner that can help, at least with removing the pieces from the motorhome. We knew it was fastened to the floor, so the next step was to find the bolts or screws and remove them so the couch was free and we could look on all sides to see how it would come apart. Fortunately, this was not too hard. There were 4 screws, 2 on each side, that we removed, and then the couch was free. I'm taking out the screws that hold the couch up to the floor. After some investigation, we found that the arms could easily be removed, so we did that. There are 2 bolts on each side that held them in place. As each part gets removed, it is easier to see the internals and how the couch works. When the couch is converted to a bed, the bed's base unfolds from inside the couch, and at the same time, the back changes angle from a sloping couch back to a flat side for the bed. There is a lever and a spring on each side that pull the bed's base out and change the angle of the back. The biggest puzzle was how to remove the back. We figured once it was removed, we could maneuver the rest of the couch out the door. The key to removing the back was to remove the decorative covers on each side that are located just behind the back. They're small, but make a big difference in being able to see how to remove the back.
The key, we really decided on figuring out how to actually take it apart, was this piece here. And it's that little wooden piece that was covering up a couple of bolts. It looked like you couldn't get the bolts out in order to take the couch back off. Once we figured out there was this little tiny screw right there in the middle that we could take that out, we pulled these off, and then the bolt was revealed so that you could see and get to it, so you could take it off.
It turns out that there are levers which change the angle of the back as the bed is unfolded. These levers are attached to the back, so we needed to remove the levers from the base. This was a bit tricky because there is a large spring on each side that helps make it easy to open the bed. We carefully removed the springs using a hand towel so the spring would not pinch our skin. We also recommend you use eye protection.
So in detaching this, we've discovered we have to take the spring off. We honestly probably should have safety glasses and would recommend that you have some too if you're going to do this. However, we do not have any, so we're being extremely careful. So right now, Derek's loosened that bolt right there.
Right here.
And
I'm going to take and pull on that spring so that enough tension comes off so that we can get the screw out.
okay, so as you can see, both springs have now been removed from the bottom screw that was keeping them tight, and we're hoping now we can remove the bed part from the frame. That's the next. I really don't want you to take this apart, but we figured it out. So we're removing a couple of bolts, and as you can see from over here, this part, this section, this arm is now detached, which means that we have gotten the back detached from the frame. Yay. So just looking carefully, Derek was able to see the difference, and there it is right there. Was able to see how it was attached. This isn't easy, and it does take a set of 1/2-inch wrenches, socket wrench, and 7/16 socket wrenches.
Once the springs were removed, we could unbolt the levers from the base and then remove the back. After we removed the back, we were left with an upright piece that we hoped we could remove, but that piece ended up being welded to the rest of the frame. However, with the back removed, we could maneuver the couch out the door. This is a bit tricky since the upright piece needs to go out first on one end and then come out last on the other end. The couch base is heavy, so it is best if you have two very strong people. We went slow and watched the uprights to make sure they didn't damage anything. We also used some of the cardboard from the RecPro recliners to help protect the couch as we moved it outside. Between the two of us, we were able to do it, but it was awkward because the couch is heavy and it had to be tipped at odd angles to get that upright through the door. We moved the trailer closer to the motorhome so we could slide the heavier pieces right from the RV onto the trailer bed. Since we had a 4-hour drive back to our home, we wrapped and secured each piece carefully. Once the couch was out, we could see the large amount of space we had to work with. We put the RecPro recliners in place and hooked them together with no problem. The instructions are easy to follow. The back snaps into the base, and then the base is hooked to each other.
It's been a few months since we put the theater seats in.
That's right.
We've lived with them. We've done a trip with them. What are your thoughts?
It's great. It really gives us a lot more comfortable living space. It feels more like home, having theater seats with also the end tables on each side.
Exactly. And the lamps.
And the lamps,
And when we put the lamps in, it really kind of came alive as being a nice living space.
Yeah. It felt like home rather than like an RV.
Exactly. I mean, it's almost identical to what we have at home anyway. We have theater seats, 2 end tables, and 2 lamps. They're just a little bit bigger. So, plus the theater seats are so much more comfortable there than the couch was. And the couch is nice, don't get us wrong. And if you need the bed, then it's great.
It's great.
But we did not need the bed. And even if we have visitors or grandkids with us, we'll just use airbeds.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's what we decided. So, so we really are very, very pleased with them. Even though the video was really short, how long did it actually take us?
It took us about 4 hours to take the old one out and about 30 minutes to put together the new one and get it in place.
And that includes vacuuming and getting it set up. I mean, it was really super easy to put it back in. There was a lot of standing and figuring out. I mean, I cut all that up or time-lapsed it because there was really a lot of us
trying to figure out what was connected where and what you could take apart and what you needed to, how things would try to come apart. Took some time.
Exactly.
But you can figure it out.
Exactly. And we want to make sure that you know that this is not a how-to video. This is what we did. And we are just here to say that if you're reasonably handy and you have the right tools, then you can figure it out if it's something that you want to do. Now, if you don't want to, there are people in Red Bay, Alabama that will do it for you. And they're not, it's not the Tiffin people that will do it, but it's people who are in Red Bay who are really familiar with that process. So what would you tell someone who's considering replacing their sofa bed with something else?
Well, we like the theater seats. It's worked well for us.
We really did.
I think the other thing is if there was something we would do differently, it's take everything else out so that you have more room to work. I'm not sure why we didn't do that to start with.
We did not take that recliner out. I don't even know what we were thinking. It's like, for some reason, we left it in there all the time we were taking the couch apart. And
it would have been a lot easier.
It would have been a lot easier. So
give us better access.
Give yourself more space. Exactly. And time to figure it out. We planned the whole day, even though it didn't take that long, but just maybe we weren't pressured and thinking, oh my gosh, we have to hurry up. And so it worked really well. So we were able to do it just piece by piece. I think the biggest thing was finding that decorative piece that covered up
on the side of the back.
That was huge to find that. It was huge. Okay, so I think all in all, we're very pleased with it. If you have any comments or any questions for us, please go ahead and leave them below, and we'll be happy to answer them as best we can. Like I said, we're not experts. We just know what we did and that it worked, and we're very happy with the result.
We're very happy with the result.
Okay, so I think that's going to do it for us this time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
And press the like and hit the bell so that you get notified.
Exactly. And so until next time, Restless Adventures, you take care.
Goodbye.